How do you feel on becoming the first ever woman president of FICA?
Like I said, very honoured to receive this opportunity to be involved. I've got some good relationships with people.
There is no players association in Pakistan. Should there be one?
Something completely different. I think those type of programs I would love to see in Pakistan.
What would you say about the performance of Pakistani women cricketers?
It's a funny one because, when I played against Pakistan, we only play them in ICC events. And they were a team that we were very conscious about because they were an unknown, very skillful, highly skillful.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं हूं सलीम खालिक और आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम क्रिकेट कॉर्नर। हम आपकी मुलाकात पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेटर्स और ऑफिशियल से तो कराते रहते हैं, साथ ही कोशिश होती है कि कोई गैर मुल्की क्रिकेटर या कोई टॉप ऑफिशियल मिले तो उसको भी आपके सामने लेकर आए, उससे बातें करें पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट के हवाले से। तो आज हमारी गेस्ट हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया की साबिक कप्तान, विमेन कप्तान, जो हाल ही में फीका की सदर बनी है। पहली खातून सदर बनने का उनको एजाज हासिल हुआ है। फीका का मतलब होता है फेडरेशन ऑफ इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन। मेंस और वुमेन्स दोनों क्रिकेट के हवाले से वो काम करेंगी। वर्ल्ड कप में भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए अच्छा परफॉर्म कर चुकी हैं वो, और वुमेन क्रिकेट का बड़ा नाम रही हैं, कमेंट्री भी करती हैं। तो लीजा हमें ज्वाइन करेंगी इंडिया से, जहां इन दिनों वो छुट्टियां गुजार रही हैं। उनसे बात करेंगे पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट के हवाले से और उनकी जो नई जिम्मेदारियां हैं, क्या सोचा है उन्होंने और क्या पाकिस्तान में भी प्लेयर्स एसोसिएशन बनना चाहिए। बातचीत का आगाज करते हैं। Thanks for your time. How do you feel on becoming the first ever woman president of FICA?
Well, certainly, for me, I don't necessarily see it as being the first, even though I am. I've been involved with FICA now for a number of years as an independent board member, but was certainly honoured and privileged to take up that role. And probably with me being involved now from a president's point of view, just shows you where the global game is going, that it's a game that both men and women play, and that both genders can ensure that the game grows globally and that it increases. So, like I said, very honoured to receive this opportunity to be involved.
What new ideas do you have in mind to protect the interest of the players?
Well, not necessarily any new ideas. I mean, I guess I've been fortunate enough that I've been part of the Australian Cricketers Association, firstly as a player who had to try and get women, female players as members. I've seen the wonderful benefits that a players association can have on the well-being of that player. We've seen, obviously, the last few years, COVID and players being stuck in bubbles has taken its toll, but also just to ensure that that you have diversity at all different levels. It's important to have both men and women making decisions at every level to ensure the security of the game moving forward. So they're not necessarily any new ideas. I'd like to think that I've got some good relationships with people, and that it may allow us to open up a few more doors, but mainly just to keep ensuring that that the players have a role in the future of the game, that they're able to sit at the big table at an ICC level and contribute and provide information that's key to the development of the game.
Have you thought of bringing FICA to some Asian countries?
Well, certainly in the past, we've actually got we've had players associations in Sri Lanka. We've still got an element of one in Bangladesh. For me, like I said, I've seen a huge benefit of a players association from a welfare point of view. And I don't think any player anywhere in the world would be disadvantaged by having some of those programs be put in place. So I would love to see the welfare side of things being put in places where countries don't have a players association. And one thing that I've noticed now being part of the World Players Association, and then also FICA, where obviously FICA members, there is constant sharing of information. It's what are you doing over there? That's worked well. Maybe we can try something here. So there is a lot of sharing of wonderful knowledge. It's not I'm keeping it just for myself and we're just trying to be the best. It's trying to ensure that everyone is using each other and growing the programs that are in place. So I think the knowledge and the experience and the expertise that some of our FICA members have had in working with players can definitely benefit other countries that don't have a players association.
There is no players association in Pakistan. Should there be one?
Like I said, I think that there'll be a huge benefit for players. I mean, and the other aspect is the transition of players. We know that everyone puts a lot of time and effort into their cricket and they want to ensure that they are successful, and they may put other careers on the back burner because they want to focus purely on cricket. But unfortunately, as we all know, there's only a small population of people that can actually go on and earn some good money. So what happens to the people that don't? What happens to the people that fall out of the system, or there's lots of injuries and they're gone? You know, the transition programs that are in place within players associations can allow those players to make it an easy transition from being a player to their next career, whether it's still within cricket or it's something completely different. I think those type of programs I would love to see in Pakistan.
If a non-member such as a Pakistani cricketer has a problem, can he contact FICA?
Of course. We're always here to help any player. And for those that don't know, the ICC prize money that the players get, that is coordinated by FICA. So non-FICA members benefit on what FICA has done in the past. And even some of the T20 domestic leagues, where FICA has worked with them to create the contract to ensure security for the players and also for the governing body. So there have been benefits to countries where there isn't a players association. So anyone can contact us.
These days, different leagues are taking place. International cricket is also going on. The work pressure on cricketers is high. How is it possible to balance it?
That's the question everyone wants to answer, and it's not an easy solution. I think the issue has been that each board has wanted to create their own T20 domestic competition, and they want it to be the best. And to be the best, you want the best players. But those best players, you know, the country wants them to play bilateral cricket. There's more ICC events than ever before as well. So there is a lot within the men's calendar. The women's calendar, there's still nice windows for everything to take place. But it's something that ICC needs to lead, and obviously with the assistance and help of their members, and then also FICA as a representative of a majority of players needs to be all in a room to decide how to go forward. Because I think if we pretend that there's no issue with the calendar, then we're probably kidding ourselves. So I think by all of us working together, the game will prosper, because at the end of the day, the players want the game to be just as successful as the administrators. The only thing is that we've all probably got different ideas. Some are right, some are wrong. We won't know until we try. But I think collectively as a group, if we all come together, then I think we can find a solution to that very question that you posed.
You have done great thing as a cricketer for Australia. Now women cricket has become more popular around the world. You must be very glad to see this.
Yeah, really chuffed. And I guess that's why at the T20 World Cup, you know, in 2020, when there was vision of me crying and, you know, seeing a jam-packed stadium, it's something I thought that I wouldn't see so soon post my retirement. I thought there was always a hope and a dream that, you know, we'd fill a stadium to see just the women's game. But we're starting to see it regularly. So I'm very proud. I'm very thankful for the ICC and obviously my home board, Cricket Australia, for what they've been able to do. They've put in money into the women's game when maybe it wasn't seen as commercially viable. I think women's cricket has shown over the last few years now, even the last World Cup beat all of the records previously held by a women's ICC event, that people want to watch the game. And because the female players are getting paid professionally, they can afford more time and energy into their cricket, something that we weren't allowed to do or couldn't afford to do. And we're seeing that translate onto the field. And that means entertaining cricket. And if you love your cricket, doesn't matter if it's a male or a female watching, you'll tune in.
What would you say about the performance of Pakistani women cricketers?
Yeah, it's a funny one because, you know, when I played against Pakistan, we only play them in ICC events. And they were a team that we were very conscious about because they were an unknown, very skillful, highly skillful. I still feel that there are a few levels down still from the top team, but from a skill point of view, from a batting and bowling point of view, their skill level is good. Fielding is probably what we saw in the World Cup, maybe cost them a few crucial matches, but their fight, their ability, their skill is just as good as other teams. So the fact that we're seeing, you know, we had Nida Dar play WBBL a couple of years ago, you know, those type of exposures, the fair break recently, and then obviously being part of the ICC Women's Championship, where they get to play every team once in a series, that's only going to benefit them. And from what I've seen, their calendar from this World Cup to the next T20 World Cup, it's jam-packed. They've got a tri-series in Ireland against Australia as well. All of this cricket against better nations will keep pushing and challenging them. But the more that they can train and get together and play cricket, they'll only benefit. So I would imagine come, you know, this time next year, Pakistan women's side will be completely different to what we've known them.
Which Pakistani cricketer do you like in the men's team?
Oh, look, there's a few actually. Obviously, you can't go past Babar Azam and what he's been able to do. Shaheen Afridi, I think as well. You know, you'd like to see a left arm quick come in. Yeah, there's some really good cricketers. I mean, I haven't seen too much of the Pakistan Super League, to be honest. I've watched bits and pieces, but the talent that you guys have over there is exceptional. And I know that, you know, those Pakistan players are well sought after in a lot of T20 leagues because of their skill level. So, yeah, there's some quality cricketers. And the great thing is Pakistan is good in all formats as well. You know, they really challenge a lot of different nations. And I'm pleased to see, and I was very happy to see that Australia toured Pakistan in the series recently. I thought that was a wonderful thing. The players enjoyed it. Good for them to get them out of their comfort zones on Australian pitches into Pakistan pitches. And I think that will only benefit the world game.
Any plan to visit Pakistan?
I would love to. I did some work actually with Sana Mir in the Women's World Cup, and she's invited me and said I'm always welcome to stay at her place. I've actually just got a bit of a break for the first time in a long time. But then I get back on the road to do commentary, but then I go back home to do my Australian summer. But hopefully in the near future, I'll get to come and travel and see Pakistan, because that is a country that I do want to see.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. लीजा स्टेलिकर की गुफ्तगू आपने सुनी। उन्होंने बताया कि किस तरह से वो फीका को आगे लेकर जाना चाहती हैं, और पाकिस्तान में भी उन्होंने कहा पाकिस्तान समेत जहाँ जहाँ प्लेयर्स एसोसिएशन मौजूद नहीं है वहाँ पे प्लेयर्स एसोसिएशन बननी चाहिए। और ये भी उन्होंने कहा कि कोई ऐसा मुल्क जैसे पाकिस्तान, उसके किसी खिलाड़ी को अगर फीका की कभी हेल्प की ज़रूरत हो, मेंबर नहीं है लेकिन वो ज़रूर राब्ता कर सकते हैं। शाहीन शाह अफरीदी, बाबर आजम की उन्होंने बड़ी तारीफ़ की। ये भी कहा कि सना मीर उनको दावत दे चुकी हैं पाकिस्तान आने की, और वो चाहेंगी कि कभी दौरा करें पाकिस्तान का। वुमेन क्रिकेटर्स की भी पाकिस्तान की उन्होंने काफ़ी तारीफ़ की। इंशाल्लाह फिर किसी और गेस्ट के साथ आपसे मुलाकात होगी। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।